Stop scrolling for a second. Don't turn away. This isn't just another video. This is something bigger. God put this in your path right now for a reason. Someone you love has passed, and they left behind a message, one that your soul has been quietly waiting to hear. This moment isn't a mistake. It's not by luck. Heaven set this up. I was woken up in the night with a clear voice in my heart telling me to give you this word. That person you lost, they have something left to say, and it's meant just for you. This isn't just about comfort, it's about waking something up inside you. Their message could bring you peace, direction, and even answers. But you have to stay with me. Every second matters. What if I told you they haven't fully left? What if they're closer than you know right now? This isn't just a message. It's a holy moment. You didn't find this found you. While you were scrolling and your heart was quietly hurting, the spiritual world moved, and heaven guided you here. Someone who once held your hand, someone you missed so much, they left behind something more than memories. They left a message in the spirit, and that message is finally ready to reach you. So listen closely. This isn't just about remembering them, it's about what they still want for you. It's not about letting go, it's about stepping forward. The Lord gave me this word at just the right time because He knew you'd be here and that your heart would be open. You've been grieving in silence. Smiling outside but hurting inside. You've asked God over and over, why them, why now, why me? And now, through this message, comes an answer. That person you love, they're still speaking, just not with their voice anymore, but through the Spirit. Heaven is echoing their love right now. So don't stop listening. There's something sacred happening. It may feel quiet, but in the spiritual world, it's loud. Heaven is opening up a window, and something holy is pouring out. I wasn't meant to share this early. But God said, now. Because this is your moment. You've been crying out for a sign, and this is it. You've carried your sorrow in secret, wondering if that last goodbye was really the end. But God says it was just the start. What they carried, their prayers, their love, their faith, didn't die. It still surrounds you. God is letting their message come through again, not through sound but through spirit. They want you to know it's time to stop only grieving and start living the mission they left behind. Say it now in the comments, I'm ready to receive the final message. Speak it. Declare it. Because the moment you do, something in the spirit begins to shift. A weight starts to lift. The silence breaks. You'll feel it in your body and soul. Because heaven hasn't forgotten you, and neither have they. No one prepared you for how painful it would be to lose their voice, their hug, their laughter. You remember where you were when it happened. You remember the shock, the numbness, the deep ache. Maybe it was a parent, a partner, a child, a friend, whoever they were, their love was your anchor. And when they left, you felt lost. You begged for a sign, for just one more moment, one more word. And for so long, you got nothing. But not anymore. Today, God is letting something come through from beyond this world. Not just to bring comfort, but to bring healing. This isn't just about the pain you felt. It's about the purpose you're about to find. Their passing wasn't a punishment. It wasn't rejection. It was part of a greater plan. One you couldn't see in your pain, but heaven always saw it. And today, heaven is speaking to that deep place in your heart. Say it right now in the comments, I still feel the love. I still believe they're with me. Don't be afraid. When you speak that truth, you open the door to healing. The ones we love don't really leave. When we love them with faith, we stay connected. That's what this message is about. Healing. Peace. Purpose. Their voice didn't end in the grave. In God's kingdom, death isn't the end, it's a new beginning. They didn't disappear, they moved into eternity. And in that move, something precious was saved. A word meant for you. Not everyone hears it. Not everyone is open enough. But you are. You were chosen. Because the voice of the righteous doesn't die, it echoes. It echoes in heaven. It echoes in your dreams. It echoes when you randomly feel them close. That's not just your mind, it's your spirit being touched. That word they left, it's now being released. It wasn't on paper, it was placed in your soul. And as I speak, something inside you is waking up. You feel it. This isn't random. This is destiny. They left behind a gift, a spiritual seed. A word of purpose. A word of strength. It's not what you expected, but it's exactly what your soul has been needing. Now say it in the comments, I believe this is for me. I'm ready to hear what heaven has to say. Say it boldly. You don't need to understand it fully. You just need to believe. When you speak those words, something begins to move. You might feel warmth or tears or chills. That's not emotion, that's the Spirit confirming it's real. They're still speaking, and now you're finally listening. Maybe you've had dreams of them, so real you woke up crying. You saw them, touched them, heard them. And part of you wondered if it was more than just a dream. Let me tell you, it was. It was a visit. Sometimes God uses dreams when we're still enough to listen. In those moments, heaven allows someone you've lost to bring a message. Maybe they said something. Maybe they gave you something. That wasn't fake. That was a gift. A divine encounter. That dream was real. Say it in the comments now, I believe my dream was real. I believe heaven allowed that. Say it and don't worry about what people think. When you agree with heaven, your spirit lines up with peace. You're not crazy. You're spiritually aware. And that dream wasn't just for comfort, it was to get you ready. Another word is coming. Another dream. a fresh message. But it starts with accepting the first one. Say it. Believe it. Because once you do, the heavens open again. You're not imagining things. You were visited. There are moments when pain is so loud you can't hear anything else. When grief fogs your whole life. But even then, God whispers. And His whisper sounds like love. It sounds like someone you thought you lost. It's a message your heart has been aching for. This is that moment. Their message was never meant to be buried. It was meant to grow. And now it's breaking through. They carried something eternal, a prayer, a word, a blessing, and it's alive right now. Even if you forgot their voice, the spirit they left behind is still speaking. And that word is meant to break your chains, restore your hope, and remind you who you are. Some of you are going to dream again. Some will feel their presence while praying. Some will hear God more clearly than ever before. Because now, your heart is open. Now, the time has come. Say it now, I am ready for the revelation. My heart is listening. Say it even if you cry. Say it especially if you cry. That's the release. That's the shift. God has been waiting for this moment to pull out what's been buried, not in the ground, but in your soul. There's more coming. So much more. But it begins with hunger. And heaven sees that in you. Open up. The message is here. There is a voice, calm and strong, that brings peace. That voice is speaking now, not from me, but from deep inside your soul. It brings back hope and healing. You've been searching for peace, but peace doesn't always come with answers. It comes with presence. And their presence has never fully left. You've felt it. You've noticed it in the wind, in a song, in a moment that felt familiar. That's not just emotion, it's love that goes beyond this life. The one you lost, they loved you deeply. But more than that, your bond with them still lives. You've carried guilt, questions, did I say enough? Did I do enough? Did they know how much I loved them? Listen closely. Their answer is simple, let it go. They see you. They forgive you. They're proud of you. And they want you to have peace, not just peace in your heart, but peace in your purpose. You're still breathing, which means your story isn't over. But to move forward, you have to let go of the weight. Right now, say this, I release the pain. I choose peace. I receive their love. Let it come from your most broken place. Because when you do, healing begins. You're not stuck. You're not forgotten. And you're not finished. The peace you're feeling now, that's real. That's for you. You've asked God why 1,000 times. Why did they have to go? Why wasn't it stopped? Why you? And though no answer ever felt right, deep down you've always hoped there was a reason. And there is. Pain isn't wasted in God's hands. The moment they passed, something invisible started in your life. Something holy. Something eternal. Your pain has crushed you, but that pressure, like pressing olives, produces oil. And oil is sacred. God uses it to heal, to anoint, to guide. What you've been through wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Every tear you cried mattered. Heaven saw them all. The place where you hurt the most is where God will use you the most. Maybe you've felt far from your calling. Maybe you've lost your spark. But hear this, your loved one would never want you stuck in sorrow. Their death didn't end your purpose, it started a new chapter. And now, that chapter is in your hands. Say it in faith, God, use my pain for your purpose. I surrender everything. Say it like you mean it. Because when you do, heaven responds. Angels move. Healing flows. That surrender isn't weakness, it's strength. You're not defined by what you lost. You're refined by it. You're not abandoned, you're chosen. And even in your pain, God still has a plan. That person you lost left a message. But God left a mission. And now, it's yours. Ears but in his heart, I'm still here. You are not alone. And from that day on, Marcus felt strength he didn't have before. He knew something real had happened, something spiritual. And now, maybe that's you. Maybe you've had a moment that made you stop, made you wonder, was that them? Was that real? Yes, it was. And yes, it is. You're not imagining it. You're being reminded. God's been using memories, songs, dreams, and feelings to speak to your heart. That voice you loved, it's still reaching for you, not to bring pain, but to bring peace. You see, when someone leaves this earth, the love doesn't go with them. It stays. It stays in the places you shared. It stays in the moments you remember. It stays in your soul. And that love is still speaking. Right now, your spirit is waking up to something deeper. You're not just listening with your ears. You're feeling it in your heart. That's not by accident. God is using this very moment to touch the parts of you that still hurt. The questions you never got answered. The goodbye that felt too sudden. The silence that followed. All of that, God sees. And He's not ignoring your pain. He's redeeming it. Because the truth is, healing doesn't always come in one big moment. Sometimes it comes in small ones. A word. A feeling. A quiet confirmation. And that's what this is. Heaven confirming what you've been feeling all along, they're still with you. They didn't leave you behind. They simply stepped into a place you can't yet see. But their love is still doing what it always did, reaching out for you, lifting you up, and reminding you of who you are. You were loved deeply. Still are. And that love is carrying a message you were meant to hear now. That message says, you are stronger than you know. You are not forgotten. You still have a purpose to fulfill. The journey isn't over. In fact, it's just shifting into something new. Because the one you lost, they passed something to you. A piece of their purpose. A piece of their heart. A spiritual legacy that was always meant for you to carry. And now, it's time. Time to carry that with courage. Time to move forward with faith. Time to believe that you were chosen not just to feel this pain but to rise through it. You are stepping into a moment where the past no longer holds you down, it lifts you up. What you lost didn't take everything. It left something too. A seed. A gift. A message that only now, you're ready to receive. God waited for this moment. Not to remind you of the pain, but to release the promise. There is something new growing from this sorrow. Something beautiful. Something eternal. But you have to be open to it. You have to let go of the guilt, the regret, the fear. And you have to step forward, even if you don't fully understand where it's going. Faith doesn't wait for answers. It walks into the unknown, trusting that God has already made a way. And right now, that way is being revealed to you. Through this message. Through this moment. Heaven is saying, you are not alone. You are not broken beyond repair. You are being rebuilt with love, peace, and purpose. So let's make a decision together. Right now, speak this out loud or write it down. I receive the love. I trust the purpose. I choose healing. Say it again if you need to. Let it sink in. Because when you speak it, you begin to live it. And when you live it, everything begins to shift. Your soul gets lighter. Your steps feel stronger. And that dark cloud you've been under, it starts to lift. This is how healing begins. This is how peace returns. This is how you honor the one you lost, by living, by loving, by becoming all you were meant to be. They would want that for you. They believed in you. And they still do. Because death didn't end their love. It only changed how it reaches you. And now that love is moving through your spirit, reminding you, you are enough. You are ready. You are chosen. You don't need all the answers to start. You just need the faith to say yes. Yes to healing. Yes to hope. Yes to the message God placed in your heart. Now take a deep breath. Feel that? That peace settling in? That's not just emotion. That's the Holy Spirit confirming the truth. You are seen. You are heard. You are deeply loved. And now, your healing journey begins, not in sorrow, but in faith.